Okay, so here is a quick video on just what I'm working on at the moment. You saw my post a couple of days ago. I'm going to be working on 1/6 scale Johnny 5s for the next couple of months. I have quite a few, I have about a dozen to do. So I'm working on one of my robotic ones now, which is the RC one. It's all manual RC. And while I'm working on that, I am working on a custom one for myself, which this one has actually been in the works for about 4 years. I finally know how to approach this in the way I wanted to and have it moving the way I've always envisioned it to move. I've tried servos, it was too jumpy, too quick. I didn't like them. I needed a better solution, and I'm just using all N20 motors, low RPM, for a real smooth motion. It's like real lifelike. Controlling it is the difficult part, but I've cracked that now. So things I didn't think were possible a couple of years ago is now a reality. It just blows my mind what I've learned over the years. So basically this is all going to be concealed inside the frame of Johnny 5, and then the covers just clip on with magnets, which is just pretty insane to think you could do that in a 1/6 scale. But basically this is the RC one, so that's all manual, so wherever you move it, it's going to stop. There's no feedback, so you can't really control that with microprocessors and stuff like that. But basically how I'm doing this is just taking the N20 motor and popping it up the bottom of one of the torsos that I've got that I had to custom do, and then the chest, which is all done. It's all one piece. The front and back will just clip on with magnets, just so you can do all of your wiring in here and just cover it up. Works perfect. So that slips on down like that. You would do your screw up there, and that becomes your movement there and holds the motor all together. So that would be one section there, so just that whole one little screw holds all of this together. The motor up here will have a shaft on it, goes up to the neck, so that'll turn the neck. The neck shaft will have a magnet on top, so the head just pops on, so it all comes apart as well. This is just pressure fitted in there at the moment, so it's a nice tight fit. It'll lock in place once that head block is there for that one. The arms are pretty easy. They just slot into the actual tube. So this is an actual model of the ones I normally do. So to be able to see just a static one turned into this is pretty mind-boggling to get your head around. If you've ever seen one of mine, they're not that big. So the motors just slip in here, and that'll give you the manual movement for the arms. There will also be another motor here for that one. So I'm only doing 6 points of motorized articulation because it sort of suits most things like your RC receivers, and a couple of the little microprocessors are usually 6 channels, so I'll just keep it at 6. This one here is the ones where you got to have the potentiometers on. We'll just call them pods, just to shorten that. So basically, to control your motors, you need one of those. So just use this one as a demonstration. Get that off. So that would go on top like that, and it would actually get fixed down to this structure. You only want that rod, that shaft to move. On this one I have a slight modification on the torso. Then that would sit down like that, and then you'd be able to control it any way you wanted, and I'd have movement from there to there. So anywhere between here and here I can control exactly the position I want. And then you have to put that theory into all of the other motors. So this is how I'm doing it. So I have one right there. You can see the slot where the wires come through, so the actual chest rides along those side rails and the front. That motor there has a slot there for a pod right there, which will control the shaft up here for the head, so I'll be able to control the head. So it's basically it moving there. So I might put a slower motor in the waist because it's just a little fast for my liking. I don't want him moving that quick at the waist, but I do want the arms and head moving at about that speed, so I can just adjust it. The arms, this one's about to pop out. So the arms are made up like that. So there's your N20 motor, there's your pod, and there is a like a coupling sort of, that's the shoulder part, so that'll slip onto there, and then a hole there, it'll just screw in with a grub screw, hold that in. Magnets there, so the arm clips on with magnets, so the arms are actually separate from the body as well. Tried to keep this as simple as I could. These motors are actually on a certain angle, so once this is all wired up, aligned properly, the arms are actually hang on a slight angle just to begin with on this startup. So it'll always hang in one position, then I can control them. So that is what I've got going on for the 1/6 scale robotic versions. This one won't be offered. This one I am offering, I'm already doing a couple of them. So no problem on that one. This one's just a little personal project. As I said, 4 years in the making. Never really seen anybody sort of do this in this scale, so it's going to be quite interesting to see in the next couple of days. I'm just working on the arms now. I'm just working my way up. The tracks will be the last as well. Eventually I do want to do moving tracks for this one. Even if it just rolls forward and back, anything would be better than nothing. So that is where I'm at with the 1/6 scales.